Admit it, you're the problem. You probably believe you're nailing this parenting gig, don't you? Solid effort, maybe even top tier. You've got the bumper stickers saying world's best mom or whatever. But when your kid's life goes off the rails, addicted, aimless, jobless, flunking out, no dreams, or worse, checking out for good, guess who's really to blame? Spoiler, it's you. I know that stings. But deep down you suspect it. And if you're already rolling your eyes thinking, not me, my kid's issues are from somewhere else, that's the denial talking. Classic parent move. You think you're special, that your family is immune because you read a parenting book once, or followed some influencer's advice on Instagram. Newsflash, most parents are delusional about how good they are, and you're probably one of them. Let me break it down slow because I know this is hard to swallow. Parenting isn't just about feeding them and keeping a roof over their heads. It's the subtle stuff, the way you handle stress, the values you sneak in or don't, the emotional baggage you dump on them without even realizing. Screw that up and boom, you've got a walking disaster. And yeah, studies out there hammer this home, like ones from child psychologists showing how early home environments predict everything from mental health to career paths. But this isn't a lecture. It's my straight shot, ignore the roots, and you're why the tree's rotting. The core truth. Parenting shapes or shatters everything. Picture this. Your teenagers zoned out on the couch, resume blank as their stare, or sneaking hits from a vape just to numb the boredom. School's a disaster, ambitions? Non-existent. And yeah, maybe they're contemplating the end. Society's fault? Peers? The economy? Nah. It all circles back to how you raised them, or didn't. From cradle to chaos, parents lay the foundation. Mess it up and the whole structure crumbles. I've seen it a million times, in friends' families, in the news, even in my own circles. The kid who grows up with yelling matches at dinner thinks conflict is normal, so they sabotage every relationship. Or the one whose parents never said no ends up entitled and unemployable. It's not rocket science, it's basic cause and effect. Evolution wired us for this stuff, but modern parents? They're dropping the ball harder than ever. We're talking distracted by screens, obsessed with work, or just plain lazy about the hard parts like discipline and empathy. And sure, research from places like the American Psychological Association links crappy parenting styles, authoritarian, permissive, neglectful, to kids' long-term failures. One study even tracked families for decades and found that inconsistent parenting predicts addiction and depression rates skyrocketing. But in my book, if you're not consistent, present, and real, you're the villain in their story. No excuses. Once you spot this pattern, it's everywhere. That neighbor's kid dropping out? Look at the parents, always fighting or absent. The success stories? Usually from homes where mom and dad modeled balance, even if they weren't perfect. But most parents? They pat themselves on the back for the basics while ignoring the damage. Hooked on junk, you taught them to escape. Let's talk addiction. Your kids chasing highs, pills, booze, whatever, to forget their crap life. You point fingers at dealers or apps, but come on. Who showed them the ropes? That nightly glass of wine you need after a long day? Or popping meds for every headache? Kids absorb it all. They learn coping means checking out chemically. I mean, think about the households where dinner involves a bottle of something strong just to relax. The kid sees it, normalizes it, and next thing you know, they're experimenting because that's what adults do. Or take the subtler addictions, screens, shopping, whatever. The dad who's always on his phone during family time scrolling to escape. His kid picks up the same habit but amps it up to gaming marathons or social media black holes that lead to harder stuff. I've watched it happen. A buddy's son went from Fortnite obsession to sneaking weed because home felt empty. Research? Sure, stuff like longitudinal studies tie parents' substance habits to their kids' addiction risks, with one showing children of alcoholics are 4 times more likely to follow suit. Another from the National Institute on Drug Abuse points out how family dynamics, like unresolved conflict or lack of supervision, crank up the odds of teen substance abuse. But honestly, it's obvious. If your home's a demo for dependency, Don't act shocked when they enroll. You're not just enabling, you're instructing. Parents strut around like, it's just a phase. Phase my ass. It's your legacy. And the worst part? They genuinely think they're fine because everyone does it. No, not everyone raises addicts. Wake up and own your role before it's too late. Zero drive. You bred a directionless dud, no ambitions? Kids floating through life like a ghost. No goals, no hustle. A straight-up underachiever. Who do you think made them that way? You. By coddling them every step, solving their problems, or straight-up ignoring their potential. Maybe you crushed their sparks with constant criticism. That's not good enough. Until they stopped trying. Or you were the cool parent who let them skip chores and responsibilities, thinking it built creativity. Spoiler, it built laziness. Now they're 24, still in your basement, dreaming of nothing but the next Netflix binge. Surprise. I've seen these kids turn into adults who bounce from dead-end job to dead-end job, or worse, give up entirely. One example, a relative whose parents handed everything on a silver platter, paid for college but never pushed study habits. Dropped out, no plan B, now flipping burgers at 30 and resenting the world. Families where parents model go-getter vibes raise driven kids per some career studies. One even links high parental expectations to better life outcomes, while low involvement correlates with aimlessness. Another study from Harvard's Grant Study followed people for 75 years and found that warm, supportive parenting predicted professional success and happiness. My take, though, if you didn't light that fire under them, you're why they're cold and stuck. You can't blame millennials or Gen Z. That's code for I failed to prepare them. Delusional line. They'll figure it out eventually. Sure, while you foot the bill. Or they're just creative types. Creative at excuses, maybe. Own your role in snuffing out their drive. Dark thoughts, your blind spots lead to the edge suicide. The word alone guts you. If your kid's there, ideating, attempting, it's a nightmare. But often it's traceable to you. Dismissing their emotions as drama, loading them with your unresolved crap, or just being emotionally MIA. Kids crave safety nets. Without yours, they freefall. Think about the parent who brushes off bullying stories with "toughen up." That kid internalizes shame, bottles it up, and spirals. Or the one projecting their own failures, "You'll never amount to anything," turning self-doubt into self-harm. The yeller who demands perfection but offers zero warmth. Or the parent too buried in their own depression to notice the kids slipping away. That's fuel for despair. I've heard stories that chill you, teens who felt invisible at home, so they sought escape in the worst way. One case, a kid from a perfect family where emotions were taboo, ended up in the ER after an attempt, and the parents were clueless. Data supports it. Research on family dynamics shows poor parental bonds spike suicide rates, with one study noting kids of suicidal parents inherit triple the risk. The CDC's reports link adverse childhood experiences like emotional neglect to a 5-10 times higher suicide attempt rate in adulthood. Even stuff on attachment theory shows insecure bonds from inconsistent parenting lead to chronic anxiety and hopelessness. But forget stats. If you're not tuned in, you're turning up the volume on their pain. It's not just hormones, it's your absence echoing. Parents feign ignorance. We never saw it coming. Bull. You weren't looking. Or we gave them everything material. Yeah, except the emotional stuff that matters. Time to face that mirror. Job hunt fail. You left them unprepared, can't snag a job. Resumes in the trash, interviews tanked, or bailing after day one. Blame game, economy, lazy generation. Reality, your parenting shortfall. No life skills taught, no budgeting, no persistence drills, no real-world prep. Or pushing them into paths they hate, killing their mojo. Maybe you never taught networking because that's for extroverts, or let them quit every activity at the first hurdle. Now they're unemployed and unmotivated, applying sporadically or ghosting opportunities. Whoops. Take the kid raised with no chores. They hit the workforce expecting praise for showing up, then quit when critiqued. Or the overscheduled one burned out by your vicarious ambitions, now avoiding effort altogether. Studies on family influence highlight how supportive parents breed employable adults. with one tying strong home ties to career stability. Research from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows parental education and involvement predict employment rates, while neglectful styles lead to higher unemployment. My opinion? Skip the basics and you're scripting their flop. You can't hand them a degree and expect magic. Skills like resilience come from you. Brag all you want about giving them opportunities. Opportunities without tools? Useless. The job market's tough, tougher if you didn't toughen them up. School slump. Your apathy echoes in their fails. Flunking classes, skipping assignments, zero effort. School's a battlefield they're losing. Why? Home base sucked. No routines enforced, no homework oversight, no value placed on learning. The parent who parks them with devices or skips parent-teacher nights. Your disinterest breeds theirs, or the one who does their work for them, robbing them of learning failure's lessons. I've seen straight-A potential tank because home was chaos, parents fighting, no quiet study space, or just apathy like grades don't matter. Kid internalizes that, bombs tests, drops out mentally. Involved folks get kids who thrive academically, say the reports. One claims parental engagement predicts success decades later. A meta-analysis of 50 studies found that home-based involvement boosts achievement by 15 to 20%. Another ties family stress to lower IQ performance in kids. But if you're half-assing it, their grades are your report card too. Don't blame teachers, blame your mirror time. Excuse, teachers aren't motivating them. Or maybe you never did. School's outdated, while you outdated their prep. The amplifier. Digital world magnifies your mistakes. Social media is the megaphone for this mess. Parents flaunt filtered family life while real connections rot. Kids doom scroll, compare, sink deeper, all as you like and share instead of engage. That viral parenting hack you tried? Probably made it worse, turning kids into content props instead of people. Everyone's an expert parent online, but offline? Train wrecks. The momfluencer preaching balance while her feed's all staged. Her kid's probably anxious from the pressure. Or dads bonding over memes instead of real talks, leaving sons to learn life from toxic forums. Patterns clear. Overconfident parents ignore the signs. True pros stay vigilant, humble. Fakers? They breed failures. And with apps tracking every mood, the damage shows faster. Cyberbullying unchecked because you're too busy posting. Studies on digital parenting show screen time in families correlates with kids' behavioral issues, one linking parental phone addiction to child emotional problems. But it's simple. If you're digitally distracted, you're physically absent. More messes. The overlooked failures. Don't get me started on social skills. Kid can't make friends? Your fault. If you never modeled healthy interactions, always gossiping or isolating, they flounder. Research on attachment shows early bonds predict peer relations, but if home's a war zone, school's a minefield. Or health issues, obesity, anxiety. You fed them junk, skipped checkups, now they're paying. Studies tie parental habits to child wellness, but you knew that. Even criminal paths, neglect breeds rebellion. Data links harsh parenting to delinquency, but denial keeps you blind. Wrap it up, step up, or stay the villain. So fix this shit. Own your screw-ups first. You're not perfect, stop pretending. List them out, where did you slack? Seek brutal honesty from your kid, pros, anyone blunt. Don't defend, absorb. Doubt your awesomeness. Is it real or just fluff? Test it against outcomes. Admit wrongs. Say sorry. Pivot. Read real books, get therapy, rebuild. Realize most parents are mediocre. Thinking you're elite? That's the trap. You're the root, but you can replant. Break the cycle or watch history repeat. What'd you botch? Face it square. Doubt you will, but worth a shot.